When I first got saved in 2020, you know, I didn't know God. I knew about him, but I didn't know him personally for myself. But when I had my daughter in 2020 during the pandemic, at that time I didn't know God. But I was pregnant with COVID, and I didn't know it at the time. And so as a result of that, I went into preterm labor at I think I was 6 months. I had just found out that I was having a girl 2 or 3 weeks before I went into labor, if I'm not mistaken. And so my daughter was born very prematurely, and she survived, and she didn't get COVID because I gave birth to her in time before she was able to contract it from me. And by the grace of God, she didn't get COVID, because if she would have gotten it, she would not have survived, because she was so tiny, so fragile, and so underdeveloped that I don't believe she would have survived if she would have gotten it. How I ended up getting saved and coming to God was because he had spared my life, and he had spared my daughter's life. And that's how I got saved. And I won't get into all that today because I make the video too long. But I'll just say this. My mom was survivor of SA. And I used to wonder to myself, you know, this person who was supposed to love me and protect me, he knew what happened to my mom as a child, but he made the decision to do the same thing to me. And so, you know, there was a generational curse that was never broken. And so some of you may or may not know this. A lot of times when a woman is sexually promiscuous, meaning she sleeps with different people, a lot of times when a woman is promiscuous, she has been assaulted as a child. Usually that's what happens. Usually that is the consequence in the reality of what happens to a child when she is molested. And that's what happened to me throughout my life. I began to sleep around with different people, and it was like at various points in my life where I wanted to stop, but it's almost kind of like an addiction in a sense. It's spiritual. Like, I won't get into all of that. You won't know really unless it happened to you, or if you have seen someone and it has, you know, unless you witnessed it. But it's almost like you want to stop, but you don't know how, or you can't. You know, it's just, it's deep. But after I had my daughter, one of my requests to the Most High was, after I got saved, one of my petitions to the Father was, I asked him if he would let the buck stop with me. And by that I asked him, I petitioned him in prayer, and I said, you know, Lord, you know what happened to my mama, and you know what happened to me. And, you know, my whole life I was just depressed and anxious and suffering in silence, in pain for so many years, from younger than 12 all the way up to 33 when I got saved and got delivered. I was never on any medication for depression or for anxiety until I had my daughter when I was 33. After I gave birth to her, I was finally put on some medicine for the first time. But up until then, I just suffered in silence. Nobody knew until I turned 17. That's when I finally told them, the truth came out. But one of my petitions to the Most High was, don't let what happened to me and my mama, don't let that happen to my daughter, because I told him if he allowed that to happen to my daughter, that I knew that I wasn't gonna be able to take that. I knew that my mind, I wasn't gonna be able to. I would have lost my marbles for good if he allowed the same thing to happen to my daughter. You know, my whole life I grew up in church, but it was just a tradition. I didn't know God for myself. I didn't have a relationship with God. And so, you know, I was raised up in the church, but it was really just a traditional thing, you know. And so I knew about God, but I didn't know him personally. You know, I was always a believer, but I didn't know him for myself. But I knew he was real. I knew very much that he was real. But my petition was, when I first got saved and got on my walk with God, after I gave birth to my daughter, she stayed in the hospital 3 months. So when she was in the hospital, I had all this time on my hands because I wasn't working, to get to know God and cultivate that relationship with him. And that's how I found out that he was really, really real. And that's how I began to cultivate a relationship with him. My petition was for him to watch over my daughter that he had given me, and for him to not allow the same thing that happened to me and my mom to happen to my daughter. Because I knew that that would take me out. I knew that if somebody did that to my daughter, that either I was going to spaz out and I was going to lose my mind permanently, or I knew that I was going to assault somebody, or I was going to have an attempted charge, which would probably take me away from my daughter, unless I could have got off on temporary insanity, which at the time I had depression, so I probably could have got off, but you never know. But I didn't want to take the chance on my freedom being taken away from my child, so my petition was for him not to allow this to happen to my daughter. So I wanted to share my testimony, and I'm going to keep this in my phone. Today is May 16th, 2025, 2:06 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I'm going to keep this in my phone, and I'm going to talk to God about it. I'm going to pray about it before I share it, because I believe that he would want me to share it. So from mother to mother, woman to woman, I just want you to know, the way that you are allowing your little girl to be exposed and setting her up for failure, leaving her open for predators, that's not what you want. If you love your daughter, whoever you are, mama, grandma, auntie, whoever her guardian is or parent is, the hurt and the pain that I have felt my whole entire life is not what you want for your daughter. So I pray to God that you see this video, because the pain inside me that I have felt, I don't wish that on my worst enemy. So if you was smart, if you was wise, the dances that you are allowing your 3-year-old little girl to do, if you knew like I knew how sick and twisted and demonic people are, and a lot of these people will be in your own family. I know a friend of our family, and her little girl was raped at the age of 3 years old. And it might be hard for you to believe, and I'm not gonna call no names just in case she ever see this video, but a 3-year-old, somebody raped her when she was 3. As sick and twisted and demonic as that is. So from woman to woman and mother to mother, if you had any sense, if you have an ounce of common sense, if you have an ounce of love for your little girl, aka Miss Shirley, if you see this video, I pray to God that you listen to me, because the hurt and the pain that I have endured in my life, I don't wish that on my enemy. And if you love your daughter, you would not want her to endure a fraction of the hurt and pain and trauma that I have endured. So if you were wise and had any sense, any love in your heart for your child, the buffoonery that you are allowing her to partake in, you will stop as soon as you see this video. And I pray this video makes it to whoever it needs to make it to. I hope and pray that you see it. You should be ashamed of yourself. Some things are not for children. Everything is not meant for a child to partake in and participate in. The sexual dances that I have seen her do disgust me and disturb me, and I'm astounded beyond rapport that anybody would let their child dance and gyrate the way that you all have let their little girl dance, down to the clothes that she wears, the sassiness, the grownness, the twerking of the hips. I'm 37 years old, soon to be 38, and I don't even know how to dance. As thick as I am, as thick and as much junk in my trunk as I have, as much of these melons that's on my chest, I don't even know how to dance and do the stuff, the movements in the dances that she do. I don't even have that much rhythm. So you should be ashamed of yourself. And if you had the slightest decency in you, as soon as you see this video, if you see this video, and I hope that you do, you will listen to me. Because you have invited all types of demonic spirits and generational curses into their little girl's life, and into your life, and into your home. She is a target. There are people who prey on children. There are people who are sexually enticed and aroused by children. As sick and as disturbing as that is, it is a reality, and it happens more than we know. And I'm sure that you know about the disgusting, sick, twisted, disturbing allegations that have been made against P. Diddy and Jay-Z and T.D. Jakes, to name a few. So if you had the slightest ounce of common sense and decency about yourself, you would stop your buffoonery in your tracks. Because if you don't, you just might be opening up a can of worms that you just not ready for. The decisions that you make don't only affect you. Take it from me. It affects your children. Generational curses are very much real. And the Bible says, I am he who visits iniquity to the 3rd and 4th generation. So it will behoove you to take heed to what I'm telling you on this here day. If you was wise and if you was smart. I appreciate everybody who listened to my testimony. There's a whole lot more that I could say, but I'm going to end it right here because this video is about 30 minutes long. Yes, I am judging her. The Bible say take the speck out of your own eye before you can see clear to take the speck out of someone else's eye. So I done took the speck out of my own eye. Now I'm judging. I can see clear to take the speck out of yours. So I am judging you. And for all of you people who always have so much to say about my ministry and what I do and what I say, the same energy that y'all have for me to criticize my ministry and what I do, that's the same energy that y'all need to have for this mother of this 3-year-old little girl. And it's the same energy that y'all need to have for the pastors that's not addressing this mess. Because see, this the type of shenanigans that real pastors should be addressing. Buffoonery. But they loud and proud when they begging you for your money on Sundays, when they exploiting the black church like they have been for centuries. But cat got their tongue on topics like this that they should be addressing and calling it out, calling a spade, calling it out, and telling the mother that she need to repent, and that little girl need to go and sit down and go and read a book, put some clothes on, and stop all that twerking and rolling around and gyrating like she grown and is a little child, need to go sit down and go play with a Barbie doll while she round here. And it's not her fault. It's the mama fault. It's the daddy fault, the grandmama fault, the auntie fault, the sister, the auntie, the brother, whoever her caretaker is your fault. It ain't her fault. I don't fault her one bit because she's a child. Children do what they see. They don't do what we say. They do what they see. She's a child. She don't know no better, but you should. You should. So that same energy that y'all love to have for me and come in and criticize on my channel and on my page, that's the same energy y'all need to have for the mama and for these pastors who quiet as church mice and ain't got nothing to say about the topic at hand. Keep that same energy. I ain't turning off no comments. I said what I said. I meant what I said. And I'm standing on business about what I said. And ain't nobody gonna make me renege or retract on what I said. Period. I pray that whoever watched this video, I pray that y'all tag people. I pray that y'all like, share, and comment. And I hope y'all tag Miss Shirley and whoever Miss Shirley mama is. I'm out. I done said what I had to say, and that's what it is. And ain't nobody gonna make me change what I said. I ain't apologizing. Because right is right and wrong is wrong. Bible say that in the last days, they gonna call right wrong and they gonna call wrong right. But the Bible say, woe unto you that call evil good and put good as evil. Woe unto you. And woe unto you pastors who have seen these videos of this little girl, Miss Shirley, and you ain't opened your mouth and said nothing, and you ain't judged. There's a righteous judgment and a righteous indignation. And y'all ain't right. And I'm out. Somebody had to say it. So it might as well be me. And I'm saying it. And I ain't sorry. I'd rather tell you the truth and hurt your feelings than to lie to you. Because I'm going to give an account. You gonna give an account. We all gonna give an account one day. Shalom.